Hey, what's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode here on Hallyu G. This is your boy Creator G, and as always, we are back in the building. With that being said, on this channel, I react to everything K-pop, K-drama, K-films, the music, the scandals, the drama, choreography, and outstanding performances that keep surprising me time and time again. So for this one, we're gonna do another deep dive into one of the members of Stray Kids. He goes by the name of Felix. So this video will be about the evolution of Felix and why he is the face of Stray Kids. Every time I hear about Stray Kids, Felix's name always pops up first. So I want to know, why is he the it guy? Why does he deserve the title of being the face of Stray Kids? What makes him so special? So yeah, I'm really up for this juicy video and learning more about Stray Kids and the members of Stray Kids. So this one's going to be interesting, the journey of Felix, how it all started for him and where he is up until today. So yeah, shout out to Purple JT for uploading this video and giving this one to us. I really appreciate your work, man. With that being said, if you are new to K-pop just like me, or if you are new to the K-entertainment just like me, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share, and put down in the comments what you'd like me to react to next, and then I'll make sure I get straight into it as soon as I can. So with that being said, without any further ado, let's go! Okay, the evolution of Felix Lee and why is the face of Stray Kids. This one's going to be interesting. Let's get it. So let's go straight into it. Come on, let's go.
Felix Lee is widely recognized in K-pop for his deep voice, which has played a key role in his success. Beyond his unique vocal tone, Felix also stands out for his presence in the fashion industry and his impressive dance skills.
Oh, okay. I definitely didn't know that he's involved in modeling. Well, come on, obviously, look at his face, guys. His face is giving bone structure, it's giving posh, it's giving clear skin, it's just giving glow, you know what I'm saying?
Felix was born in Australia on September 15th, 2000.
Okay, so I do remember the leader of Stray Kids is also from Australia, so then he's also from Australia, okay.
His grandfather chose his middle name, Youngbok, which he would later use as his Korean name. Felix grew up in the Sydney area, leading him to develop freckles on his face from the strong rays of the sun.
What? Did he get freckles from the strong sun rays of the sun? That's the first I ever heard of.
He participated in Taekwondo while he was growing up, studying the martial arts for 12 years. On top of learning Taekwondo, he also competed in tournaments, where he earned a total of 63 medals. During the upper half of his childhood, he began taking dance classes. While he was studying at the dance school, he was scouted by a woman from JYP Entertainment, who later reached out to Felix through a direct message on Facebook. She invited him to a shooting, however, Felix wasn't sure what to think of it. His boss from the dance academy advised him to take up her offer and attend the shooting. Felix successfully passed JYP Entertainment's auditions and was invited to join the company. He moved to South Korea and officially joined on February 24th, 2017.
So wow, from a dancer to be invited to then do audition to then be part of the group. That is crazy. What a crazy journey. And you see how far dance can actually bring you. I don't think in his wildest mind, his wildest dreams, he thought he would possibly be part of a big group like this, being a dancer, you know? But when you're a dancer, your next step is definitely to become a singer, rapper, or actor, or somewhere in the entertainment industry.
Since the Korean language, Hangul, lacks the character for the F sound in his name, he was often called Felix. To adapt,
Felix, my word.
he started using his middle name, Youngbok, which was given to him by his grandfather, and went by Lee Youngbok, a name that fit more naturally in Korean. Despite his choice, JYP Entertainment wasn't supportive, as Youngbok is now considered an old-fashioned or hillbilly name in Korea, something Felix was unaware of. With his strong background in dance and Taekwondo, Felix's training period was relatively short before he appeared as a JYP trainee. On August 22nd, he performed with 8 other trainees at JYP's homecoming showcase under the temporary group name Male Project Team. Just over a month later, they reappeared.
Yeah, I remember the Male Project Team. I watched a very brief video in 25 minutes. Really interesting, really interesting. If you haven't seen it, go watch my reaction to that. Really insane video.
appeared as Straykids and released their first music video on YouTube on October 6th. 11 days later, Felix appeared on a JYP and Mnet survival show called Straykids. Throughout the show, he faced frequent criticism, particularly for his Korean skills, which impacted his rapping. Having only been in South Korea for a few months, his Korean was still limited. In the third episode, Felix lost a bet and had to order food for his unit mates, Lino and Changbin. They encouraged him to practice his Korean by ordering chicken from the restaurant himself. Though he struggled, he successfully placed the order and picked up the food.
What a cool challenge to place an order. Dope challenge.
On December 5th, in the 8th episode, Stray Kids were tasked to perform a live busking performance. Additionally, JYP sent out 2 scouts, 2PM's Jun K and producer Rado, to judge their performance from the crowd. Leading up to their performance, Felix was feeling overly nervous as he had previously been on watch from JYP for elimination. Those nerves led him to consistently make mistakes in both his rap and dance during their practices. While performing their new song, Ya Ya Ya, at their busking event, Felix unfortunately made a mistake in his dance performance, where he was meant to balance on Woojin and Jungin a little longer. At the end of the episode, the scouts shared their thoughts on the Stray Kids members, and JYP made his decision regarding the group's future. He felt it would be best for Felix to continue training at the company separately from Stray Kids due to his limited Korean skills and recent dance mistakes.
Imagine they really had to let him go though. That would have been such a bummer. Because look at him now. Mans is in his element. Hard in his element.
Felix's elimination devastated the remaining members, especially Bang Chan, his fellow Australian, who promised Felix he would never leave
Yeah, I remember such an emotional moment right there.
him behind and urged him to always find him. Near the end of the 9th episode, JYP revealed that he didn't feel the same spark and energy in Stray Kids as he initially did, associating it with them just clicking together stronger when they're the full 9-member group. Because of this, JYP decided to give Mino and Felix another chance and let the viewers decide in a live finale. The viewers voted in favor of the 9-member lineup, a whopping 96% to 4. It was clear even if Felix had his mistakes now and then, the fans would love him regardless and always support him. With the final vote, he was accepted into the final lineup of Stray Kids and given the opportunity to debut, having the second shortest training period with JYP Entertainment in the group. The following year, on March 25th, 2018, Felix made his debut in Stray Kids with a performance at Jangchung Arena. Despite the possible language difficulties, he decided to use his English name, Felix, as his stage name. Additionally, he kept Youngbok as his Korean name, one that fans exceptionally loved and found cute, despite JYP's initial opinions. The next day, Felix and Stray Kids released their first album, I Am Not. Just a few months later, on August 6th, Stray Kids released their follow-up album, I Am Who. The album features an intro track titled Who, which Felix co-wrote with Woojin and Han. The song reflects the album's theme of finding yourself at your own pace, even if it's different from the people around you. 20 days later, on August 26th, Felix joined Lino and Hyunjin for a dance performance video, forming the dance unit, Dance Racha. Felix played a key role in choreographing the performance.
That choreography looks dope. I need to watch into that. I need to have a look into that. For sure.
As well as guiding the camera work. The SKZ player performance showcased his growth in dance since his training days. In 8 months since the survival show, his dance skills had vastly improved, with his movements looking significantly smoother and more defined. On March 25th, 2019, the 1-year anniversary of their debut, Stray Kids released Clay 1 Miro. The 5th track on the album was titled Boxer and showcased Felix's prior taekwondo skills in the choreography. At the tip of the second pre-chorus, Felix performs a tornado kick, both a very powerful kick and a difficult one. Felix makes it look easy though, thanks to his prior 12 years of experience. The second album in the Clay series, Clay 2 Yellow Wood, released just a few months later on June 19th.
I just realized how many things I still need to react to of Stray Kids. There's so many songs, there's so many albums. Ooh.
The album featured Side Effects as its title track, prominently showcasing Felix's unique lower vocal tone. His voice can be especially heard in the final chorus, as he leads with almost no background instrumentation.
머리 아프다.
On July 1st, Felix became the MC for the Korean TV program Pops and Soul. The TV series differed from other programs, as it was prominently an English program, making Felix the Aussie a perfect fit. In the show, he went over various topics, such as current news in K-pop, provided tips for K-pop fans, and even taught viewers how to do dances to popular K-pop songs.
Super cool. In his element, definitely.
He served as an MC through all of 2019 until January of 2020, where he inevitably stepped down as MC. Being fluent in English, Felix and Bangchan often take the lead in American interviews. One memorable appearance was on February 13th, when Stray Kids was featured as guests on The Zach Sang Show. Felix's multilingual ability helped him stand out without overshadowing the other members, allowing him to engage with the audience while still highlighting the group's collective presence. During the interview, host Zach Sang praised Felix's deep voice, noting the strong impact it has, even on people who aren't dedicated fans. A few months later, on June 17th, Stray Kids released their first full-length album, Go Live. The title
I really think, with such a face like that, the least thing that you expect is such a deep voice. So a guy with such a youthful face with such a deep voice, it's like it's contradicting.
title track, God's Menu, featured Felix's voice prominently in both the second verse and the bridge. His part in the second verse particularly stood out, as the contrast between the otherwise loud, aggressive song and his low, whisper-like vocals highlighted his voice more than ever before. The impact was more than clear, with the God's Menu music video reaching 66 million views within just 28 days, 16 million more than their previous title track, Levanter, had accumulated in almost 5 years. As of now, God's Menu holds the record as Stray Kids' most watched music video, with over 480 million views.
Wow. It's like 500 million views. Crazy.
With the success of God's Menu, Stray Kids gained more attention, and new listeners often referred to Felix as the guy that sings that one part, recognizing his deep voice in key moments of songs. This included his standout parts in tracks like the previously released Side Effects, as well as future hits like Maniac and Case 143. Additionally, Go Live sold 70,000 more copies in its first month than their previous album, Clay Levanter. While Clay Levanter sold 182,300 copies in its first month, Go Live sold 243,462 copies in the same time frame.
The numbers are insane as always. Insane numbers.
Felix's vocal performance certainly played a significant role in helping Stray Kids reach the level of success they claim today. On August 4th, Felix released his first vlog, in which he and his fellow Aussie, Bangchan, baked one of his iconic recipes, coffee cookies.
I need to watch his vlog. I definitely need to do that. Do you want me to do a reaction to his vlog, guys? Let me know. I would really like to get into it and see what it's all about.
In his free time, Felix enjoys baking. One of Stay's favorite recipes follows a similar structure, that being brownies infused with coffee powder, just like the cookies Felix and Bangchan made. On September 14th, Stray Kids released their first repackaged album, In Life. The album featured tracks written by each Raja unit in Stray Kids, with Felix's unit, Dance Raja, writing the 7th track, Wow. Wow has since become the most played song of the 3 In Life unit tracks. Later, on November 25th, Hyunjin and Felix were featured in a promotional film for Dior's new sneakers, B27. Days Korea included a short comment in the description in which they described the duo as being capable of perfectly displaying the essence of Stray Kids through their moves. On December 9th, Felix began a new ASMR series called 801 Stay FM. Fans and members alike had often joked that Felix's voice was perfect for ASMR, and this series was his gift to Stay, who had shown immense appreciation for his voice throughout.
He's definitely loving his life. Whatever comes to his mind is like, I'm doing that. The fans want it, I'm doing that.
The year. The series included 4 episodes, with a new one released every other week until January 20th, 2021. Before the year ended, Felix gave one final performance on December 31st, alongside the boys' Younghoon and G-Idol's Wootsie at NBC's 2020 Music Festival. The trio delivered a summer-inspired performance, where ironically, Felix's iconic deep voice was not the focus. Instead, he showcased his singing skills, surprising many with his noticeably different vocal tone, a shift from his usual deep, low voice to a higher, cutesier sound. On the same day,
Okay. So he's playing around with his voice and he's testing new vocals as you should. You should never stay on basically one level, and not progressing with your voice. And I mean, this is what he's doing. He's experimenting with his voice. Because not only do you need to have a deep voice and people remember for you for that, however, why not experiment while you're still trending and show people what you can do different? So
Stray Kids released their annual Step Out video, where they share their goals for the upcoming year. Unlike the previous Step Out 2019 and Step Out 2020 videos, which were text only, Step Out 2021 featured Felix narrating. Using his well-loved voice, he walked viewers through the group's achievements in 2020 and outlined their goals for 2021. If you're enjoying Felix's evolution, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed.
Please, guys, comment, like, and share and subscribe to Purple JT. I really love his content. And while you're at it, please tap that subscribe button on my channel as well, as it goes both hand in hand. You know how we do it right here.
South Korea celebrates Valentine's Day slightly different from places around the world. In South Korea, Valentine's Day is reserved for women to give guys gifts, rather than it going both ways. The guys later give back to those that gifted them on March 14th, known as White Day. Felix collaborated with Changbin to release a song on White Day. The two of them worked together to write the song because, on April 1st, Stray Kids joined Mnet's new reality TV series, Kingdom Legendary War.
I need to watch that as well. I need to watch Kingdom Legendary War. That's something I'm noting, and I'm watching that.
Later, in the 8th episode, which aired on May 20th, they delivered a remix performance of their hit song, God's Menu, with Blackpink's Doo 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 Doo. The performance opened with Felix spotlighted in a Deadpool costume, a nod to the popular Marvel anti-hero. Deadpool first appeared in a comic book on December 11th, 1990, and later in Fox's X-Men Origins Wolverine from 2009. However, fans were disappointed with this portrayal. 7 years later, Fox reintroduced the character in the 2016 film Deadpool, with Canadian actor Ryan Reynolds reprising the role. Felix started the performance by sitting on a ledge with his feet dangling, while drawing and listening to the radio, an homage to Deadpool's opening scene. Initially, JYP Entertainment declined the request to incorporate Deadpool's likeness into the performance, but Stray Kids leader, Bang Chan, insisted on it, feeling that the character resonated with the group's identity. Eventually, JYPE approved the idea, placing Felix in the spot.
JYP is very afraid of copyright claims. They like, we don't want to get involved. You know, we don't want Marvel to come at us for stealing their ideas or being inspired by their ideas. But I think once it was explained to them that, look, we're doing it in a different way or whatever, they were like, okay, it's okay. Felix, do what you want to do. Go ahead.
Spotlight as Deadpool, bringing a unique twist to their stage performance. The performance caught Ryan Reynolds' attention on Twitter, leading him to interact with Stray Kids, and most notably
Super cool, super cool.
their leader, Bang Chan. The final episode of Kingdom Legendary War aired on June 3rd, and to commemorate the finale,
Ooh.
Felix baked his famous coffee
The choreography looks dope,
cookies for his fellow contestants.
and the cookies looks delicious.
16 days later, on June 19th, Felix joined Bang Chan, Jongbin, and Sungmin on the SKZ player track Up All Night, contributing his unique vocal tone to complement the song's contrasting styles. On July 23rd, Felix was featured in his first solo pictorial and interview, featuring on GQ Korea's August issue,
Ooh.
marking one of Stray Kids' earliest solo magazine features.
Once you feature on GQ, you the it deal. For real.
A week later, he appeared on GQ Korea's YouTube channel for an interview, showcasing his charm and personality individually for fans. On September 16th, Felix joined Lino and Hyunjin, his fellow Dance Racha members, in Etro's luxury fashion campaign. The promotional film emphasized their dance skills, allowing Felix to display his versatility beyond standard performances. On October 21st, he was featured in both a fashion film and pictorial, making his first solo cover appearance for the November issue of Star One magazine.
Wow. I think modeling is his element, he just fits so perfectly in there. But I mean, this guy is just talented all round. He's an all round talented individual, model, dancer, choreographer, singer. I mean, what more do you want? Come on, man. Wow.
Just over a month later, on November 29th, Stray Kids released their first seasonal-themed album, Christmas Evil, where Felix's iconic deep voice played a major role. His parts in the title track, specifically in the first chorus and ending refrain, became an instant hit on social media. Even those unfamiliar with Stray Kids found themselves drawn to Felix's distinctive voice, with his lines frequently used in holiday-themed content. This exposure introduced new listeners to Felix's charms and encouraged them to explore more of Stray Kids music. Stray Kids released Step Out 2022 on December 31st, which featured Felix's voice like last year. However, he also acted in the announcement video.
Oh, so now we're acting. What more do you want? Come on. I thought I was about to say he's not acting yet, but let me say less.
where it was themed like a CEO of a company going over their newest products. This theme presents Felix at the front of Straykids, celebrating their accomplishments in 2021 and announcing their plans for 2022. Felix began 2022 with another pictorial and interview, this time with Singles Korea on January 19th. 8 days later, Singles Korea released a behind-the-scenes film to their Instagram account. Later, on February 9th, JYP Entertainment put out an announcement regarding Felix. They mentioned how he had previously been experiencing back pain and was diagnosed with an intervertebral disc.
Experiencing back pain, vertebral disc. Whoa. It is doctors have recommended that avoid postures and activities that pressure his waist. Felix will be avoiding any.
Disc
Wow.
herniation. It's unlikely he had any surgeries performed for it, and rather took
Damn.
medication while resting. At the end of the month, on February 27th, Stray Kids announced their next album, Ordinary, accompanied by a trailer that centers on Felix making his way up through the floors of
The last thing that you need as an artist is an injury. You know? I hate injuries, man. I can hate them.
a skyscraper. The album was later released on March 18th, marking a special moment just 1 week before the group's 4th debut anniversary. Its title track, Maniac, quickly became one of Stray Kids' most popular songs, reaching over 320 million plays on Spotify. Felix's distinctive deep voice stands out in the song, especially in the first chorus and post-bridge. During Maniac's promotional stages, Felix managed his injury by taking a selective approach to his performances. He delivered his lines and then stepped aside, reducing his movements but still maintaining his presence. This
Oh, now it all makes sense that a lot of the times he doesn't maybe go full out or he's stepping aside is because of his injury. Why didn't I know that? Now I feel bad for some things that I maybe said. But I didn't direct it at him though. I always mention it as the team. I don't say him or her or, did that. So it's always a collective. So I understand though. Injury, you gotta try and prevent that at all costs. And you gotta try and always, prevent that from happening again, take that precautions. So, big ups, man.
style allowed him to stay involved, though it required a high level of focus to ensure he hit each cue and returned to the main stage at the right moments. A few months later, on June 24th, Twice member Nayeon began her solo career with a mini-album titled I'm Nayeon. The second track, No Problem, featured Felix for his vocalistic talents, showcasing his abilities outside of Stray Kids' signature sound. Shortly after Maxina's release, Felix and Bangchan were featured on Eric Nam's Daebak show, in which they tried sauces, and Felix reveals he was confused about how Michelin stars work, believing the max star count was 5 instead of 3, thanks to his iconic God's Menu line. On December 21st, Stray Kids released SKZ Replay, a compilation album featuring
Just release after release after release after release. Come on. These guys are putting in the work, man. Damn.
previously released SKZ Player songs, along with new tracks. Included were some of Felix's earlier collaborations, like Because and Up All Night, as well as 2 brand new contributions he helped write for the album. The 7th track of SKZ Replay, Deep End, marks one of Felix's solo pieces. Co-written with producer Shim Eunji, structured as a piano ballad, Deep End explores the lingering weight of heartbreak, comparing the sensation to sinking in a pool. Felix's diverse use of vocal tone adds depth to the song's minimal instrumentation, with his lower tones creating a unique contrast that amplifies the song's emotional descent. His vocal range led many listeners to wonder if a second singer was featured, showcasing his ability to layer contrasting
Wow, so he's really experimenting with his voice. I mean, he's gone from having such a deep voice to doing SMAR to, experimenting doing emceeing, for him to be more vocally, aware is such a great thing to have as an artist because you're capable of doing so much more. So really respect for that, man. Really respect for wanting to go the extra mile and to see what you can do with this beautiful voice that you acquire, that you have.
vocal colors within a single performance. The 10th track, Love Stay, is a full group song. Felix, Hyunjin, and Ian wrote the track with producer Kim Se-mi, again displaying his experience with songwriting. 10 days later, on December 31st, Felix provided a voiceover for Step Out 2023, which was themed inside of a bedroom and pinball machine. The following year, on January 30th, 2023, Felix was featured in an interview with Beauty Plus Korea magazine as part of his cover feature for their February issue.
Wow, this guy's doing so much. So much. Wow. It's crazy.
His photo shoot with Beauty Plus was sponsored by the French luxury brand Kenzo, placing Felix in the brand's clothing. This photo shoot was more than substantial for him, as a luxury brand was placing their faith in Felix to help them market their brand. On March 24th, BTS's Jimin released his mini-album, Face. To promote the album, Jimin appeared on Pixid's YouTube channel on March 26th for a game. During the game, one contestant shared that, while she had been a dedicated BTS fan, Felix's deep voice and maniac had stolen her attention.
I feel like that happened to a lot of fans from BTS. You know, when you hear a talented vocalist, you have no other choice but to like them. There's nothing wrong. So BTS fans, if you're a fan of Stray Kids, please come out of the closet. Please.
In response, Jimin jokingly called out to Felix, using his Korean name, Youngbook, saying he'd bring her back to the BTS fandom for a bit. This mention surprised Felix, as he holds great admiration for BTS's members, making the interaction especially memorable for him. Felix later responded to Jimin's message by performing a dance cover to Like Crazy on March 31st. Felix appeared on the cover of Elle Korea's May issue with a photo shoot sponsored by Louis Vuitton. His month was packed with fashion events. He attended
Louis. Wow.
Louis Vuitton's Women's Pre-Fall 2023 show on May 1st, followed by Gentle Monster's grand opening in Japan on May 10th. On May 20th, he joined Levi's celebration for their 150th anniversary of their iconic 501 jeans.
Wow.
To wrap up the month, Felix attended
This guy's literally working with all the biggest fashion brands in the industry. Crazy.
Louis Vuitton's Women's Cruise 2024 show in Italy on May 27th, further solidifying his presence in the luxury fashion world. In June, W Korea featured Felix on their cover, with the shoot sponsored once again by Kenzo. Shortly after, on June 2nd, Stray Kids released a third full-length album, 5 Star, which included the track F&F, or Flora and Fauna. Co-written by Felix, Bang Chan, and producer Trippy, F&F is a heartfelt tribute to their home country, Australia. On June 27th, Felix attended Bulgaria's Serpentine 75 exhibit with Mama Muswasa. His influence in fashion was solidified on August 22nd when Louis Vuitton named him as a house ambassador, a role that highlights his growing
house ambassador of Louis Vuitton. Now you with the big dogs, man. You are with the big dogs. I didn't know that he's such a big fashion icon. That is crazy. And I love that for him. He totally deserves it, you know. He has the look, the face, the body, the physique. Wow.
In September, Stray Kids made an appearance at the VMAs in the United States, where they performed their latest track, S-Class, and took home the award for Best K-Pop Music Video. With over 3.5 million viewers tuned into the show, this was an incredible opportunity for the group to gain international exposure. Felix in particular drew attention from new fans, with many asking about the blonde guy on stage. Following this success, Felix attended Louis Vuitton's Women's
America, USA, they love beautiful people. They love beautiful looking people, you know.
Spring Summer 2024 show in Paris on October 2nd. A few days later, on October 8th, Stray Kids released a trailer for their upcoming album, Rockstar, with Felix and leader Bang Chan delivering the trailer's voiceover. On October 30th, Felix appeared in the music video for Niju's Korean single, Heartress, where he played a high school student, in which Niju tried to get his fluffy keychain. November was a busier month too, with Felix featured on W Korea's digital cover, sponsored by Louis Vuitton. Towards the end of the month, he took part in W Korea's 18th annual Love Your W campaign on November 24th. Just 6 days later, on November 30th, Felix attended Louis Vuitton's pre-fall show by Pharrell Williams and appeared on GQ Korea's YouTube channel for an interview promoting his December cover. The following week, he attended GQ Korea's night party on December 7th.
This guy is busy body. He's everywhere now, literally everywhere.
For Christmas, Felix joined Niju in a festive performance of their song, Heartress. A week later, on December 31st, he delivered another special Christmas performance, this time on MBC, alongside his fellow Dance Rocha members, Lino and Hyunjin. Together, they presented a charming, dance-centered rendition of White Love, delighting fans with their playful and coordinated moves moves. As 2024 was beginning, Felix donated 100 million Korean won to help children in Laos suffering from poor sanitation and nutrition through UNICEF on January 4th. Around the same time, he was given a break lasting 3 weeks. Felix stated he felt unfulfilled from simply donating and decided to use that time to travel to Laos to help serve those same children. UNICEF
Wow. Not only does this guy, not only is he involved in every single thing in the entertainment industry, but he's also giving back, you know. And I mean, was someone that is so famous and has so much popularity and has so much money. Wow, I bow down to you, bro. Kwai. That is dope.
took
That
the
is dope.
opportunity to document it, uploading 3 episodes to their Korean YouTube channel. Shortly after, he donated an additional 50 million won to UNICEF, as well as 50 million won to World Vision, following his service in Laos.
How much is 50 million won? Sounds a lot. Probably like $100,000 or something.
He was featured on Vogue Korea's digital cover, sponsored by Bulgari Perfume. On March 5th, Felix made his runway debut at Louis Vuitton's Paris Fashion Week Women's Fall-Winter 2024 show. This was a notable milestone, as K-pop idols appearing on the runway is incredibly rare, with most featured as models rather than runway performers. Felix shared that he felt extremely nervous leading up to the show, but received support from model Jung Ho-yeon, who reassured him and offered guidance on what to do. The following month, Felix continued his impact in fashion, appearing on Harper's Bazaar Japan's physical cover and Harper's Bazaar Korea's digital cover
It just keeps getting better and better and better and better.
for April. On May 2nd, Straykids released a teaser for their collaboration single, Lose My Breath. In the trailer, Felix provides a voiceover, narrating and setting the scene for the song and music video. Later that month, he attended Louis Vuitton's Women's Cruise 2025 show in Barcelona on May 27th. Shortly after, Felix was featured on Vogue's main YouTube channel with over 15 million subscribers.
This guy is everywhere. Like, where else? Where else? Where else? Come on.
The video
next?
follows
What's
Felix as he
next?
prepares for the Louis Vuitton show, offering a behind-the-scenes look and an interview that highlights his experiences and insights as he gets ready for the event. On June 18th, Straykids released a trailer for their upcoming album, 8. As part of the album's promotion, they shared short videos featuring each member acting as TV ad hosts, humorously selling 8 fortune cookies. Only one of these ads was included in the trailer, with Felix's video prominently showcased at the very start. A few weeks later, Felix co-hosted an Apple Music exclusive radio show all about Stray Kids Radio, alongside his fellow Aussie, Bang Chan. On July 17th, Felix also appeared on Radio Star, an NBC program, marking one of his first solo TV interviews where he represented Stray Kids on his own. Just a few days later, on July 19th, 8 was released, with Felix contributing as a co-writer on the 5th track, Runners. In the same day, Marvel Korea released a special interview between Felix, Bang Chan, and Hollywood actors Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. This interview
Full circle. From his Deadpool showcase that he did, comes full circle, and look now, doing the interview for Marvel Studios. Crazy.
was particularly meaningful for Felix, who once portrayed Deadpool in Kingdom Legendary War and now had the chance to interview the original Deadpool actor himself, Ryan Reynolds. Later, on September 8th, Felix attended Tommy Hilfiger's Spring-Summer 2025 show at New York Fashion Week, alongside his fellow Dance Racha member, Lino. Felix was then featured on the cover of Elle Korea's November issue, accompanied by a concept film as part of the promotion. Both the cover and film were sponsored by Louis Vuitton. Throughout his 7 years as a K-pop idol, Felix has demonstrated not only his charisma, but also his skills through his fashion presence and global praise. Thanks for watching. Bye 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 bye.
Wow, guys. That is the story of Felix Lee from the Stray Kids group. Now I get why he's the face of Stray Kids. Wow, this guy has started from a lot of challenges in the beginning of his career to almost not being accepted in the Stray Kids group, to being such a huge fashion mogul, fashion inspiration, and has such a huge fashion presence. I see modeling as being his main element. He has the face, like I said, the look, and he's such an humble guy. With all his success, he's really down to earth, and that's what I like about him. You can see that this guy appreciates everything, and yeah, you can sense the you can just sense it. You can just sense it from him. However, I'm really inspired by his story, from all his hardships up until now. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What a story. I really want to learn more about the other members as well, so please stay tuned for that. But that is it for today's video of Felix Lee from the Stray Kids. Thank you so much for watching this one. If you're a fan of Stray Kids, or if you're a fan of Korean music, or if you're a fan of K entertainment in general, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share, and put down in the comments what you'd like me to react to next, and then I'll make sure I get straight into it as soon as I can. So, with that being said, guys, without any further ado, your boy Creator G is out of this building. Peace.